Okay, before we start, I want to remind everyone of the house rules during our webinar. Please mute your microphone or audio at all times. And please be reminded that questions will only be entertained at the Q&A session after the presentation via Zoom chat. A pleasant day to everyone. Welcome to APEC Eagle Key's first ever webinar entitled Your Stock Market Journey, Pitfalls and Opportunities, an introduction to the stock market. All right, let's start. It is a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker. He is currently connected with Eagle Equities Incorporated, a member of the Philippine Stock Exchange, with 26 years track record in the industry and trading certifications from local and international capital markets. He provides consultancy and advises corporations and high net worth individuals. He has also held key leadership positions in various companies and is now the president of APEC Wealth Consulting Corporation. He is the author of Keep It Smart and Simple, or the Keys Charting and Trading Strategy. Let us all welcome Mr. Fernando Martinez.
Good morning, and thank you for waking up early this Saturday morning. No? I'm sure napakahirap for most of us. It's a weekend, and I think we are all motivated by one thing, and that is to learn how to invest in the stock market. Now, aside from learning, syempre, we should also learn how to earn kasi the stock market is not a charitable institution. This is a place where people make money. So, ito ang motivation natin this Saturday morning. Some of us wants to have a windfall, at a medyo aggressive na risk taker, and then some of us wanted to our money tree to grow slowly. No? So ito naman yung medyo risk averse. Both can be achieved in the stock market. Now, I will introduce you to the stock market the way I know it for the last 26 years. Hindi ito yung parang bookish type of seminar na you are like reading a book, no, from a stockbroker or a writer. I will bring it to you in a way na in layman's terms, no, maiintindihan natin mabuti. Now, this is the stock market. Wait. Okay, we're back. What is a stock market? A stock market is an association of people organized to provide an auction market among themselves for the purchase and sale of securities. You have to understand the keywords, no? The keyword says it's organized and then purchase and sale of securities. Importante yan kasi later on, papakita ko sa inyo kung how it affects the stock market. Now, the closest thing that is you can relate to the stock market is the wet market. But before that, I will show you a trading floor. No? This is a typical trading floor of the Philippine Stock Exchange. And this used to be located in Ayala Avenue. Ito yung Tower 1 sa Makati. Before kasi dalawa yung trading floor ng Philippine Stock Exchange. The Ayala trading floor, and then we have what we call the Tech-type trading floor. Yung nandun sa Tech-type building sa Pasig. Now recently, lumipat na yan, both floors, nag-join na sila sa BGC Tower. So wala na yung Ayala trading floor and wala na rin yung Tech-type towers. Now, the closest thing, no, na may encounter natin na kaparehong-kapareho ng stock market is yung wet market. A wet market is an association of people organized to purchase or sell fresh meat, fish, and local produce. Now, bakit wet market? Kasi meron tayong notion na ang stock market is mahirap intindihin or hindi siya pangmasa, no, pangmayama lang siya. Well, you are wrong on that end, no, kasi every day we encounter the wet market. And in fact, sa mga may bahay pa nga, no, sa mga misis, sila yung mas magagaling mamalengke kaysa sa mga asawa. Kaya lang, nag-change yan nung pandemic dahil laging mga husbands na ang namamalengke. This is a typical wet market. Obviously, hindi siya sa Pilipinas kasi napaka-organized and napakalinis. This is a wet market in Singapore. Now, let's go further. Sa wet market, ano yung makikita natin? We see stall owners. So, sino yung mga stall owners? Ito yung, for example, Aling Mila's Meat Shop, no? Aling Letty's Vegetable Shop. Sa stock market, ang equivalent niyan is yung mga brokerage houses. Ano-ano yung mga brokerage houses? Eagle Equities, All Financial, Wealth Securities, Abacus Securities. So sila yung katumbas ng stall owners sa wet market. Iisa yung functions nila. Ang stall owners, nagbebenta yan ng mga iba't ibang klase ng meat or fish or vegetable. Ang brokerage, nagbebenta yan ng mga products ng exchange like stocks, ETFs, and warrants. Now, sa wet market, as you walk along, may makikita kayo sa pasilyo ang mga tindero. Tawag natin yan, stall attendants. Anong trabaho nila? Hinihila nila kayo, di ba? They will tell you, dito kayo bumili sa amin bagong katay yung meat. Dito kayo bumili ng fish kasi bagong huli. Sa stock market, ang tawag dyan, brokers. Ako yon, I'm a broker. Anong sinasabi ko sa inyo? You buy this stock kasi maganda yung earnings nila and yung earning potential in the next couple of years. Or do not buy this stock kasi hindi kumikita yan and mukhang palugi na. So kung titingnan nyo, in essence, iisa yung trabaho namin ni stall attendant and yung broker sa stock market. We convince people on what to do. Ang pinagkaiba lang namin, si stall attendant, nakapambahay, si broker sa stock market, doon sa trading floor, it's either naka-necktie kami or nakabarong Tagalog. So pareho lang kami ng function. Sa wet market, you trade or you buy meat, fish, or local produce. Sa stock market, you buy stocks, ETFs, exchange traded funds yun, and then warrants. Sa wet market, ang tawag namin sa inyo is customer or suki. Sa stock market, pinaganda namin. Ang tawag namin sa inyo is investors. Okay, so yun yung pagkakatulad ng wet market at stock market. So hindi tayo dapat maintindihan ng mechanisms ng stock market. So let's go further. Another term for stock market is capital market. Now, bakit siya capital market? Because this is the place where private companies can raise capital. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Yung privately held company, pwede nilang i-offer yung shares nila sa stock market or capital market para makapag-raise ng pera. And how do they do that? They do that through IPO, yung tinatawag na initial public offering. Let's say, for example, company ABC wants to raise funds, pumunta siya sa Philippine Stock Exchange na meet niya yung requirements. So he will undergo an initial public offering. In that initial public offering, meron yan offer period. It will last around 1 to 2 weeks. Doon sa offer period na yon, public can buy shares directly from the company. Kaya ang tawag doon, primary market. Kasi yung public bumibili ng shares direct doon sa privately held company. Now, once ma-sell na yon ng private company, they now become a publicly listed company. So, hindi na sila privately held company. Now, on listing date, the day you see the chairman of the company ring the bell, no? Yung may ceremony yan, it becomes the secondary market. Bakit? Kasi ang ino-offer na ngayon for sale sa Philippine Stock Exchange is yung 20% na nabenta ng mother company doon sa public nung nag-offer period. Malinaw yung pagkakaiba ng primary market and secondary market. But later on, pag may mga questions kayo, you can do that. Paano natin malalaman kung merong mga IPOs? No? Philippine Stock Exchange, and pwede mo rin malaman niya sa mga newspaper reports, but Philippine Stock Exchange have this electronic disclosure system. They call it PSE Edge. So ito yung link where you can check kung mayroong IPOs na incoming or any information about the company, earnings niya, developments, plans, change of the board of directors, resignation of key management. Naka-disclose lahat yan sa PSEH. Anything that will affect the price of the stock, dapat ma-disclose sa PSEH. Okay? Now, what is a stock? A stock or equity security represents an ownership interest in a corporation. In short, you are a part owner of the corporation. Anong ibig sabihin nun? Halimbawa, bumili ka ng stock, SM Prime Holdings. Okay, SM Prime Holdings owns and operates all the SM Mall. Lahat ng chain mall nila, yung groceries nila is owned by SM Prime Holding. Now, for example, nagtatrabaho ka sa BGC. Ano yung pinakamalapit na SM Mall doon? It's SM Aura. At around 10 a.m. in the morning, nag-open yan. Pero if you pass by that mall before 10 a.m., let's say mga 9:45, makikita mo ng queue, yung pila ng tao sa labas, ang haba. Ito ka ngayon, nakabili ka ng shares ng SM Prime Holdings, meaning part owner ka na nung company na SM Prime, which owns all the SM stores. So, ibig sabihin, part owner ka ng SM store, tama? Dumating ka at 9:45 a.m., nakita mo mahaba ang pila. Anong ginawa mo? Bumaba ka ng kotse mo, dumiretso ka dun sa guard. Kinatok mo yung guard. Mr. Guard, nilabas mo pa yung stock certificate mo. Part owner ako ng mall na to. Papasukin mo ko kasi ayokong umila kasama yung mga alipin sa gigilid. No? Okay. Pwede mo bang gawin yon as part owner of the corporation? The answer is no. Bakit? Di ba doon sa definition kanina ng stock market, organize siya. So ibig sabihin, pag organize ka, mayroon mga rules and regulations na sinusunod. May mga norms na sinusunod. At yung pagpunta mo doon sa guard at papakita mo yung stock certificate mo, sasabihin mong part owner ka para mauna kang pumasok, hindi yung kasama sa mga rules and regulations. Okay? So, pwede pa mangyari sa'yo, baka paglabas mo ng stock certificate mo, labasan ka ng guard, mas madami pa yung ownership niya sa'yo. So, nakakaya lang. So, meron niyang established norm, no? May rules and regulation. Ang tawag doon, shareholder rights. Ito lang ang pwede mong gawin. Okay. Stockholder or shareholder rights. Let's assume na si Henry C. is buhay pa, no? Kasi ngayon, mga anak na niya ang nagmamanage ng SM. Now, assuming buhay pa siya, siya yung majority owner ng SM Prime Holdings. So, ikaw naman na shareholder din naman, part owner din, kaya lang ikaw yung pinakamaliit. Si Henry C. 60% owned ang SM Prime. Ikaw naman, siguro 0.0000 something ang ownership mo doon sa SM Prime. But despite the fact that Henry C. owns 60% at ikaw yung smallest, iisa lang inyong stockholders right. Now, what are the stockholders right of SM Prime holders or any stock for that matter? Number one, you have the right to transfer shares from themselves to others. Anong ibig sabihin nyo? Pinagulo lang yung explanation. Ang ibig sabihin niya, pwede kang bumili, magbenta ng shares, saan? Sa Philippine Stock Exchange, doon sa stock market. And since stockholder ka or part owner ka, syempre, pag kumita yung company, dapat magkaroon ka ng share. So yan yung number 2 right mo, receive dividends when paid. Okay, syempre, pag hindi naglabas ng dividendo, hindi ka naman makaka-receive. So pagka naglabas ng dividendo yan, proportion yan according to ownership. NBC gets the 60% of the dividend, ikaw naman you will get the 0.00 something percent of the dividend. Okay, number 3 right. You have the right to examine the books. Ano ba ibig sabihin nito? Sa part owner ba, pwede ka bang pumunta doon sa office ng SM Prime? I think ang office ng SM Prime is located somewhere doon sa Mall of Asia, no? Doon sa may Ross Boulevard. May mga buildings dyan, and one of those buildings, nandoon yung office ng SM Prime Holding. Punta ka doon sa floor where the VP for Finance is located. Katok ka sa office niya. Mr. VP for Finance, can you take out the books? I just want to see and I just want to check kung saan ninyo dinadala yung pera at kung anong plano ninyo sa company namin. Pwede mong gawin yun, di ba? Kasi nakalagay dito, stockholders' rights. Now, part ba yun ng norm or rules and regulation or rights ng stockholder? Actually, hindi. Kasi kung, if you can just imagine, in a year, there's 365 days. Ang stockholders ng SM Prime Holdings, thousands yan, if not tens of thousands. So kung everyday may pupunta doon na stockholder or shareholder or part owner, wala nang gagawin si VP for Finance, kundi entertaining kayo. Pakakapehin niya pa kayo, pakakainin niya pa kayo. 365 days, wala na siyang ma-accomplish. Detrimental yun sa company. So how do you examine the books na number 3 yan sa shareholders right mo? Now on number 4, you see there, both at annual meetings to elect the board of directors. Kasi taon-taon, nagmi-meeting ang shareholders, ang tawag dan annual stockholders meeting. And before they conduct the annual stockholders meeting, naglalabas muna sila ng annual report. In that annual report, nakalagay doon yung message ng chairman, nakalagay doon how the company performed for the past year, nakalagay doon how the company plans to perform in the coming year, and most importantly, nandoon yung financial statements. So doon mo ma-examine yung books. Paano mo ma-exercise? At number 4, pwede kang pumunta sa annual stockholders meeting and elect the board. Now, pagka hindi mo gusto yung performance ng company in the past year at hindi mo gusto yung plano niya, you can elect another set of board of directors. But sad to say, in any setting, local, sa Philippines or anywhere in the world, majority rules pagdating sa mga corporation. So kung sino yung majority owner, he sets the direction and siya yung nauupong chairman. So in this case, let's say buhay pa nga si Henry C. No? So ang mauupong chairman si Henry C. because he owns 60% of SM Prime Holding. So kahit na magsisigaw ka doon, mag-iiyak ka, hindi mo mapapalitan yung fact na majority owner yon. So yung board niya ang mauupo taon-taon sa annual meeting. So how do you exercise? Hindi ka satisfied, go back to number 1. Transfer shares from themselves to others. Sell your stock. Okay, saan mo ibebenta? Sa stock market. That's how you do it. Next, right. Limited liability of losses. You cannot lose more than the price paid for the stock. Anong ibig sabihin yan? Sa corporation kasi, pwedeng kumita, pwedeng mabankrupt, malugi. No? For example, yung listed firm na binili mo is na bankrupt. No? Meron silang liabilities or utang na 5 billion pesos. Yung mga creditor banks niyan, they will get together and then i-gather lahat ng assets ng company and i-dispose nila to raise the funds na para makasingil sila doon sa corporation. For example, 5 billion yung utang ninyo. Nung nagbenta yung mga creditor banks, ang na-raise lang is 4 billion. So short pa ng 1 billion. Hindi na kayo hahabulin ng creditor banks. Ikaw na bilang shareholder ng company, yung private properties mo, yung private account mo, pera mo sa bangko, hindi magagalaw yon. Kasi hindi separate ka sa entity ng corporation and yung personal mo. So, anong gagawin ng bangko dun sa shortfall, yung kulang na 1 billion, i-write off na lang nila yun. Hindi na kayo hahabulin. So, yun yung maganda sa setting ng corporation and mga listed companies. On the opposite side naman, you have the right to receive the remaining assets of the corporation after all the claims on the property of the corporation are satisfied. So anong ibig sabihin nun? May utang, na bankruptcy company, ang utang niya is 5 billion pesos. Nag-take over yung creditor banks, binenta yung mga assets. Okay, naka-raise sila sa pagbenta ng assets ng 7 billion. So sobra-sobra yung na-raise. Anong gagawin din sa 2 billion? Bubulsahin ba yun ng banks as profits? No. Ang kukunin lang nila sa inyo yung utang, yung 5 billion, and then the 2 billion isusoli sa inyo. Now, when you receive the 2 billion, settle ninyo lahat ng mga obligations ninyo. Ang matitira doon, paghahatian ng mga stockholders. So, again, Henry C gets 60%, you get 0.00 something percent. Okay? Number 7, you have the right to receive a stock certificate. Medyo pasay na to, hindi na ito pinapractice sa stock market. Bakit? Kasi I think as early as latter part of 90s, ang stock market is purely scriptless trading na, meaning to say wala nang paper. So lahat nakapasok na sa computer system. Now, unless you are a sentimental kind of a person na gustong-gusto mo yung mga diploma mo nakahang sa wall, kasi yung stock certificate, ang itsura niyan parang diploma. You may do so. Request ka sa broker mo, sabihin mo, papaname ka yung stock certificate. So makaka-receive ka ng parang diploma, Nakalagay doon, Fernando Martinez owns 2 million shares of San Miguel Corporation. Okay, so yun yung stock certificate. Ang problema mo, pag lumabas ka sa system, which is computerized na, okay, at papanay mo sa stock certificate, there is a strong chance na pagka mayroong dividends, stock or cash, hindi ka makaka-receive. Tapos minsan may mga development sa company, nag-stock split siya. Dami yung shares mo or reverse stock split, kukunti yung shares mo, hindi ka manonotify kasi nakalabas ka sa system. Now, most of the time, the reason why we go back to the broker and dala-dala mo yung certificate para ibenta is merong emergency. May na-hospital, may namatay, so you need money immediately. Before, i-endorse lang yan ng stockholder sa likod. Mabibenta na ng brokerage. Kasi noon hindi pa computerized. Okay, so magulo talaga yung system noon. Pero nung na-computerize yan, pag pumunta ka sa broker, i-in yan muna ng stockbroker na tawag natin na stock transfer office. Sila yung trace kung authentic yung stock certificate mo kasi may mga fake na kumakalat. I-trace kung meron kang na-miss na dividend, stock or cash. Kung meron kang na-miss na stock splits or reverse stock splits. Most of the time, it will take about a month bago mo bago ka payagan ng broker na ibenta yung shares mo. So madidefeat na yung purpose na kailangan mo ng pera kasi may na-hospital, may namatay. So I strongly advise na hindi na to natin i-exercise kasi safe naman yan. Parang sa bangko, you have a passbook. Ganon din sa stock brokerage house. Meron ka ng statement of accounts na mag-receive anytime. Pwede mong i-request sa broker mo yan. Okay? Next, so how do you earn? Ito yung pinaka-importante. This is the reason why we woke up early this Saturday morning, no? Buti na lang meron tayong mga quarantine measures. So I'm sure wala naman sa inyong mayroong hangover today. So dividend, no? Sabi ko nga kanina, if you're part owner and the company earns, dapat meron kang share doon sa ownership. Now, excuse me for a while. Okay, as I said, if the company earns, you should have a share of that earnings. No? So nilalabas nila yan through dividend. Either in the form of cash, yung cash na yon mapupunta doon sa account mo sa broker and then you can withdraw. So pera na agad yan. Pagka stock dividend naman, the stock will go to your account sa broker, tapos pwede mong ibenta, makukonvert na rin yun sa cash. Na from time to time, meron tayong tinatawag na property dividend. Halimbawa, Ayala Corp. Meron siyang sister company, Ayala Land. Nagbigay si Ayala Corp ng dividend, let's say, shares ng Ayala Land. So, ang tawag doon, property dividend kasi hindi shares ng Ayala Corp ang pinabigay niya. From time to time, nangyayari yan. Pero most of the time, stock or cash lang ang binibigay. Number two, way for you to earn in the stock market is price appreciation. So ano yan? Bumili ka ng stock at 1 peso, you sold it at 150, how much yung return? 50%. Now, sasabihin nyo, naman yan, parang too good to be true. It happens all the time sa stock market. May mga stock pa nga ng market ng 50% in one day. No, lalong-lalo na may mga malalaking development. Now, hindi rin yung guaranteed. Pwede ka din naman kasi bumili at 1 peso and then you end up selling at 80 centavos. So, magkano loss mo? 20%. Kaya tayo nag-aaral this morning to avoid those occurrences na palagi ka nagbebenta ng lugi. Okay, so dalawa lang yan. If there's anybody who is calling you or texting you and sinasabi sa inyo, do you have an open mind? Open-minded ka ba? Kaya mo ba magbigay sa akin ng 10,000 weekly? Tapos mag-recruit ka pa, tapos magbibigay uli ng 10,000 weekly. 100% scam yan. What you should do is go to SEC and report the incident, report the person. Pwede din sa PSE siguro, but it's better if you go to the SEC. Next, investing procedures. Dahil hindi ka mag-earn pagka hindi ka pumasok sa stock market. So how do you do this? Number one is look for a broker. I'm a broker. My brokerage house is Eagle Securities. Tapos madami pang iba. There are about 330 stock brokers in the Philippines, no? Brokerage houses in the Philippines. You can choose among them. Merong online and merong traditional. Ano pinag-iba niyan? Online trading brokerage houses, nagbibigay sa inyo ng trading platform. So you trade on your own. Ikaw maglalagay 1,000 shares, I'll buy it at 1 peso or whatever. Same thing. Pag magbebenta ka na, I'll sell it at 1 pesos and 30 centavos, this much number of shares. Ang problema doon, you are on your own. Now, pag newbie ka, medyo difficult yung task na yun. Ano ibig sabihin ng newbie? Baguhan ka sa stock market. So, minsan, piniprepare nila to open with the traditional brokerage. Ano yung traditional brokerage account? Before you execute, tatawag ka muna or ino-notify mo si broker. Ang advantage nun, you are talking to a person. No, kasi minsan you need confirmation. Ang napili kong stock na bilhin is Mega World. Okay na ba siya sa ganitong presyo? The broker can answer you based on his experience. Sasabihin niya siguro mataas pa sa ganito, abangan mo pa sa mas mababa. Or medyo mataas na to, baka maipit ka. Yun yung wala sa online trading account. So pag baguhan ka, importante yun. But again, the decision is yours to make. Kami, we are a traditional brokerage house, pero we are going to launch our own online system na rin, Eagle Online. And pag sinuwerte kayo, all of you, those that are present here, i-invite namin to attend yung launching nun. Ang number 2 procedure is yung fund your account. Siyempre, nakapag-open ka na ng account, nakapag-sign up ka ng tinatawag na client account information form, parang account opening forms na sa bangko. Same thing, you will fill out the forms and then sasabit mo sa broker. Right there and there, sasabihan ka ng broker mo, you can now fund your account. Nakait na yung account mo. Remember this, when you fund your account, make sure na pag nagsulat kayo ng cheque, the name on the check is the name of the brokerage house. For example, sa akin, dapat Eagle Equities Inc. Now, pag nag-deposit naman kayo online transaction, make sure that the account number is credited with Eagle Equities Inc. Not sa name ko. Bawal yon. We are not allowed to do that. Magkakaproblema kayo dahil pwede ko itakbo yung pera. Or kung sino man yung broker na kausap ninyo. So make sure that the checks or the online transfers is credited to the brokerage house. Tapos makikredit yan sa account ninyo. And then you can now start buying, selling stocks or stocks. Kung malaki yung pera nyo, multiple stocks pwede nyo agad bilhin. Okay? So yun yung investing procedure. Now you also have to understand yung board lot table. Kasi I think there is around 220 to 250 stocks listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. Konti pa nga yan eh. Sa ibang mga exchange, nasa thousands na. Now, iba-iba yung presyo niyan. You have to understand that you cannot buy, let's say, 1 million shares lower than 1 million. Ito yung lot size, nakikita nyo, 1 million shares. Kung ang price range niya is 0.0001 to 0.0099. So, ibig sabihin niyan, wala pang 1 centavo. So, hindi ka makakabili ng lower than 1 million. Ang equivalent price lang naman yan at 0.001, yung 1 million is 1,000 pesos. So, ang tick size niya is 0.001. So, ibig sabihin, yung kada bili, kada akyat, hindi ko alam kung ilang cent na to, ilang millicentavos ba ito, no? Basta 0.001 yung tick size niya, yung galaw niya sa market. Now, at 0.01 to 0.049, 100,000 ang pwede mong bilhin, and tick size naman niya is 0.001. And so on and so forth. Pagka ang presyo niya is 50 centavos to 10 centavos, 1,000 na ang pwede mong bilhin. And ang tick size niya is 0.01. Self-explanatory naman yan. When you get a copy of this presentation, may intindihan ninyo na malinaw yan. Okay? Now, we go to the sample computation. Pag bumili ka na actual, right? For example, you bought stock ABC, yun yung sample natin stock. You bought 100,000 shares at a unit price of 1 peso. So, ang gross stock price mo is 100,000. Okay. Magbabayad ka ng commission ng broker which is 500 pesos. You pay me dahil hindi naman ako libre. Okay. And then you pay the government, yung value added tax, 60 pesos. The other fees, 24 pesos. Ano yung other fees na yan? Yan naman yung bayad din nyo sa exchange. So yan yung SCCP or clearing fee and PSE transaction fee. Now sa sales tax, sa buying, wala siyang sales tax kasi bumili ka eh. So ang estimated total na babayaran mo for 100,000 shares of ABC stock at the price of 1 peso is 100,584. Okay, so i-issuean mo ng check yung broker and you will pay him that amount. Now a month later, no, umakyat yung stock na ABC. You sold 100,000 shares at 2 pesos. So ang gross stock price mo is 200,000 na. Umakyat na yung value. Now, commission, dumoble na rin, 1,000. Bakit? Kasi nung 500,000 lang yan, nung 500 yung commission, nasa 100,000 lang ang gross stock price mo. Right now, it's 200 na. So everything is doubled. Tabat naging 120, other fees naging 48. Tapos meron ka ng sales tax. Sales tax also goes to the government. 1,200 yan. Now, ito yung common question. Pagka nag-stock market ba kami, yung kita, i-declare ba namin sa aming income tax sa BIR? No, you don't have to kasi nagbayad ka na, mado-double taxation ka. Kaya nga pag sell mo ng ABC stock, asset mo yan, na-charge ka na ng sales tax which is 1,200. So all in all, ang estimated total net mo is 197,632. So remember, nagbayad ka ng 100,584. So magkano ang net gain mo or yung kita mo? 97,048 pesos. Okay, so ang percentage equivalent nun is about 96%. 0.48. So, yun yung kinita mo after a month of trading ABC securities or ABC stock. Malinaw? Later on, I will also entertain questions kung meron pa. Now, there are two types of equity security. Importante din ninyong malaman ito. Number one is yung common stock. Ito yung definition natin kanina, so I don't need to discuss the common stock. Number two is preferred stock. Now, what is preferred stock? Preferred stock is a stock that entitles the holder to a fixed dividend whose payment takes priority over that of the common stockholders. So anong ibig sabihin nun? Hindi naman kasi taon-taon may kita ang company. There are years na lalugi sila so hindi makaka-receive ng dividend. Diba? Ito kasing preferred stock, ano siya, parang hybrid siya ng fixed income and then common stock kasi pwede mo siyang i-trade sa stock market. Now, fixed income kasi meron kang fixed coupon na marireceive taon-taon, yun yung dividend na makuha mo sa company by buying the preferred stock. Ang problema lang dyan, napakaliit ng mga returns niyan. No? So unless you can buy millions upon millions of preferred stocks, pwede mong gawin itong investing. Ang kalimitan nagpa-practice nito is yung mga banks, insurance companies, mutual funds, and yung government financial institution, SSS, Pag-ibig, and the likes. No? Bakit? Kasi they can buy so much shares, so much numbers of shares. So kung ikaw naman, individual ka lang, you can only have 1 million to spare, sorry to say, ang liit ng return na may expect mo. Now, bakit yung mga malalaking institution yan ang binibili? Kasi sa fund ng malalaking institutions, like insurance, banks, mutual funds, and government financial institutions, kalimitan yan, meron silang tinatawag na yung fund, no? Yung totality ng fund nila. 70 to 80% kailangan pasok agad sa fixed income kasi preservation ng capital ang habol nila. Unlike tayo na mga maliliit retail stockholders, ang habol natin is appreciation ng ating investment. Sila, preservation lang ng fund. Tapos, out of the 20% remaining, baka 10% lang ang napunta doon sa stock market. So, konti lang ang nire-risk nila. Yung 10%, most likely, yung sa banking products or corporate bonds, doon sila pumapasok. So, hindi ito para sa ating mga maliliit. Not unless if there's anyone in this room that have 200 million pesos in a bank account sitting at walang ginagawa, I can design a portfolio for you wherein pili tayo ng mga preferred stocks tapos tatalunin natin yung inflation rate taon-taon, and then meron ka pang nakukuha konting dividend. Okay? Now, meron din tayong classification of stocks. These are the blue chip stocks, growth stocks, defensive stocks, cyclical stocks, and asset stocks. Ano yung blue chip? Blue chip stocks is the creme de la creme. Sila yung pinakamalaking company doon sa sector nila. For example, ano yung blue chip sa telecommunications? Obviously, it's PLDT and Globe. Sila yung pinakamalalaki. Tama? Sa food sector, sino yung pinakamalaki? Guaranteed dito. 90% of you present in this room will say it's Jollibee kasi masarap yung chicken joy nila. You are wrong again. Blue chip sa food industry is San Miguel. Bakit? Kasi pagising mo sa umaga, you are eating their hot dogs, their bacons, umiinom ka ng milk, kumakain ka ng rice nila. Pagdating ng tanghali, kumakain ka ng meat nila, Monterey, kumakain ka ng vegetables nila, nagluluto ka, mantika nila gamit mo. So, they are the blue chips. Not to mention the fact na meron pa silang soft drinks and of course yung San Miguel beer. Now, just like any other blue chip, yung growth rate ng blue chip is mabagal na. No? Bakit? Kasi sila na yung number one doon sa sector. Ang San Miguel, they already know how much beer Filipinos consume in a year. Taon-taon alam na nila yung kikitain nila. Alam na rin nila how many hot dogs the kids will eat every morning sa loob ng isang taon. So, yung growth rate niyan, hindi na masyadong maganda. Laging single digit na lang. Ang maganda lang, consistent sila sa pagbibigay ng dividend. Okay? Kasi lagi niyang factored in, meron ng income palagi. So, pwede ka dito if you're after dividend returns. No? Kasi nga, dalawang paraan na kumita. Dividend and then price appreciation. So, kung hangabol mo is dividend, ayaw mo mag-intindi ng mga price sa stock market, blue chip ang bibilin mo. Number 2, growth stocks. Paborito ko to. Bakit? These are the stocks or companies that grow with the economy. So pag maganda ang economy ng bansa, maganda rin ang growth ng mga growth stocks. Kaya sila tinawag ng growth stocks. Give you an example. Mega World is a growth stock. Bakit? Pag maganda ang economy ng bansa, okay yung remittance ng mga OFWs, okay yung earnings ng BPO, okay yung agriculture and other sectors, may pera ang tao sa bulsa, may extra money. And ano ang ginagawa ng tao pag may extra money? They buy houses, they buy condominiums. So growth stocks ang pipiliin mo pag maganda ang economy. Now, paano naman pag mga time ng mga pandemics or crisis? Number 3, meron tayong tinatawag na defensive stocks. Okay? Like right now, magmula nung March until present, pandemic tayo. No? So mahina ang income ng tao, bagsak ang stock market. Pero may mga companies na nag-survive or maganda pa nga ang return even during the pandemic or crisis times. For example, meron ba kayo dito mga senior citizen na nag-maintenance na? Kahit na pandemic, they will not stop taking in medicines. So bibili at bibili pa rin sila ng medicines nila. Kung meron kayong mga babies or mga pamangkin na babies, kahit na pandemic or kahit na anong crisis pa yan, you will still buy milk for your babies. So yung pharmaceutical company, maganda yan. And then yung milk companies, maganda yan. And ultimately, yung mga food sector, no? Pero iwasan ninyo yung food na reliant sa mall operations. For example, Jollibee is a sad story. Reliant sila sa mall operation and bumili pa sila recently yung coffee bean and tea leaf. No? So lahat yun bagsak. Ang laki ng lugi ng, I think, around 10 billion per sack. So hindi sila yung food sector na sinasabi ko. Ang food sector na sinasabi ko is yung may network na nagdi-deliver sa mga palengke, sa mga groceries. Groceries are also good kasi kung mapapansin ninyo, we don't stop doing groceries eh. We stop malling. Pag pumunta ka doon sa mall, walang tao. Pero sa groceries, may tao. Kaya yung Pure Gold is going up quite significantly during the pandemic period. Agri-nurture is also a good stock. Ang laki ng reversal nila nitong pandemic. Ano pa ba mga magagandang sector? I would say even the banking sectors. Kasi may mga banks na conservative. Importante dyan, yung bank na may pera, tapos pagka kailangan na nating i-reboot yung economy, meron silang ipapautang. Sila yung makaka-take advantage ng reboot. Okay, so ano naman yung iiwasan ninyo? Obviously, tourism is dead. No? So casino stocks, mahihirapan yan. Airline companies, I think it's going to be very difficult for them. So yung mga ganong bagay, i-discuss natin yan. Meron tayong sariling session for that one. Next is cyclical stocks. Ano yung mga sample ng cyclical stocks? For example, cement stocks. You don't buy cement stocks pag tag-ulan. Bakit? Konti ang nagpapagawa ng bahay. So pag konti nagpapagawa ng bahay, lilit ang earnings nila. So dapat bumibili ka ng cement stocks pagka medyo pa-approach yung summer period na doon ang peak ng construction. Another is mining. Mining, you don't buy during rainy season dahil walang nagmimina. Baka mabagsakan pa yung mga minero nila. Problema pa yan. So again, you buy before the summer season. So umakyat yan usually around November, December. No, mababa pa pala pero you start buying and then aakyat yan towards summer. May mga instances naman na yung mining sector umakyat kahit na tag-ulan. Kagaya ngayon, pandemic. Kasi mahina yung ibang mga markets. So people have the tendency to go to a safe haven. Ano yung safe haven nila? Gold. So kaya kung mapapansin niyo, umakyat yung gold sa world market. So that is also another consideration. And then number 5 is yung asset stocks. Isa sa mga paborito kong asset stocks is yung ICTSI, International Container Terminal Services. Company owned by Enrique Rason. This is a Filipino-owned company, port operator siya, pero yung mga port na ino-operate niya is nasa abroad. Nasa South America, nasa South Africa, nasa Europe, and some parts of the US. Ang maganda dito, when they operate a port, kalimitan they own the land. Kaya nga siya asset stocks eh. Tapos dollar earner pa yan. Yung earnings niya binabalik dito sa Pilipinas. Another example of asset stock is Metro Bank. Ang Metro Bank kasi sila yung madaming mga standalone na bank branches. Makikita nyo isang branch tapos may lote. They have this policy kasi na they will put up a branch, they will buy the land first. So asset stock din siya na may tuturin. So yan yung classification of stocks. No? Makakatulong din yan sa pagpili ng mga stocks na bibili ninyo sa stock market. Okay? Now, upon entering this room kanina, I'm sure iba-iba yung characteristics natin. Sinabi ko nga kanina, mayroon ditong mga malalakas ang loob. Gusto nila kumita agad ng malaki. Mayroon naman medyo conservative, risk averse. Gusto nila dahan-dahan lang. Okay. Before you go into the stock market, kailangan alam mo yung categories ng stock market investor. So mayroon tayong tinatawag na investing. You are in it for the long run. You believe that the company will continue to grow and is satisfied with the dividends being given out by the company. You are not affected by the day-to-day price fluctuations, and stocks you buy are usually the blue chips or heavy capitalized companies. Ang risk profile mo dito is low risk, low reward. Kagaya nga na sinabi ko kanina, yung blue chip companies, hindi mo na tinitingnan yung price fluctuation kasi you are buying them because of the dividend. Yung share sa company na binibigay ng company sa mga owners niya. So you should categorize yourself as an investor or long-term investing. So hindi ka na manunood ng noise sa mga day-to-day price fluctuation. Okay? Number 2 is trading. Siguro majority sa atin or 90% of those present in this room, ito ang kukunin. Bakit? Trading, you are in it to make a profit to price fluctuation. So bumili ka ng piso, nagbenta ka sa 150. Stocks move up and down in prices and traders take advantage by buying low and selling high. Okay, so buy low and selling high, yan yung strategy that works all the time. You will encounter terms such as support and resistance. And ang risk profile mo dito is medium risk and medium rewards. Okay, importanteng maintindihan natin yung support and resistance kasi yan yung foundation sa technical analysis. Tomorrow ang ating session for technical analysis. I hope everyone that registered today are also registered tomorrow. Yun yung pinaka-importante. Doon natin malalaman how you will make money and how you lose money sa stock market. Okay, so bigyan natin konting papyaw. I will teach you what support and resistance is. This is a chart price of mango. 12-month chart price from January to December. As you will notice, there are times na umaabot siya ng as low as 25 pesos per kilo. Okay? Ito siguro yung time na panahon ng mangga, kahit saan ka pumuntang palengke, nag-uumapaw ang mangga sa palengke. And if you will notice, every time it touches 25, it goes up. Now, within that 12-month period, ang pinakamahal naman is yung 120. Malamang ito yung mga rainy season na wala ng mango sa palengke. Pero every time it reaches 120, it goes back down. So, ang support price ng 12-month price chart ng mango per kilo is 25 pesos. And ang resistance niya, ibig sabihin, nag-resist siya doon, is 120. Okay? So, palitan natin to. Kunwari, hindi na siya mango. Gawitin siyang stock ulit, stock ABC. So, if this is a stock, common sense will tell you na dapat bibili ka every time it reaches 25 and then magbebenta ka at 120. Tama? Okay. That is the representation sa chart. Pero, in practice, sa stock market, there is no genius that is capable of predicting the low of the price. Walang nakakaalam kung saan siya maglo-low. And at the same time, wala ding nakakaalam kung saan siya mag-high. So paano mo gagawin ngayon ito? Bibili ng 25 at 120, no? Hindi naman pala mapapractice yan in real life sa stock market. What we do as traders is we do range trading. So alam mo na yung range, 25 to 120. So every time it reaches 40 pesos, we start buying na. We buy at 40, 30, 25, no? So yun yung buying price namin. And once the price goes up or starts to go up, we start selling naman at 80. We don't wait na for the 120 kasi nga hindi mo mahuhulaan kung aabot doon eh. So 80 pesos pa lang we start selling, 80, 90, 100, 110. Okay, so if you bought it, let's say ang average price mo is at 40 and then you sold it at 80, that's 100% return. I'm happy with 100% return. So yun yung range trading. Tapos pinagbasihan mo yung support and resistance for the last 12 months or 1 year. Okay? Tomorrow madidiscuss natin yan in depth. Mas magandang discussion. Kasi ayaw natin yan kayo i-flood ng information and as much as possible, basic lang muna tayo. Okay? Next, ito yung gustong-gusto ng lahat. This is the lottery. You want to earn big, you go speculating. Now, speculating is not necessarily bad. Diba? Now, this is speculating. Listed companies usually are subjected from hearsay or rumors. Hindi lang sa showbiz ang machismis, matindi sa stock market. Whether the information is true or not, hindi na importante kung totoo. Hindi. Investors love to get in on a stock subjected to speculation because of the high risk but high reward nature. So ang risk profile mo dito is high risk, high reward. So pwede kang kumita ng malaki, pwede kang malugi ng malaki. Now most of the time, ang mga baguhan or newbies like you, laging nalulugi ng malaki. Bakit? Okay, ituturo ko ito sa inyo. We call this the DNA of speculation. For the last years, ang alam ko, dalawa lang kami nagtuturo na ito. Pero ngayon, baka madami na nag-adapt. Before, hindi ito tinuturo sa mga stock market seminar. This is how it works. This is a chart of Buy the Rich Corporation. If you will notice, may several stages yan. Smart money, friends of the smart money, suckers, and then yung suckers rally or bull trap. Okay. If you will notice doon sa stage ng smart money, nakikita ninyo yung green and red spikes. That represents volume. Again, tomorrow sa technical analysis, i-discuss ko thoroughly yan. Smart money comes in habang mababa pa yung price ng stock. As you can see, nasa mga 190, 1 peso and 90 centavos. Slowly nag-accumulate si smart money. Walang nakaka-notice niyan. No, hindi ninyo manonotice yan unless you look at the charts. So ito, pinakikita ko sa inyo yung DNA of speculation. Now, shortly right after, mga 1 month or 2 months, papasok na naman yung banabagong stage. Now, this stage is called the friends of the smart money. Magtatawag si smart money ng mga kaibigan niya, okay, bumili ka ng ganitong stock, Buy the Rich Corporation. Speculation to, may rumor yan, may chismis. Si friends naman, instead of keeping it to himself, iniingay niya na yan. Yan yung stage na kailangan marinig na ng buong Pilipinas, marinig na ng buong mundo. So when you open your social media accounts, makakabasa kayo ng mga comments or posts na to the moon, or bumili na kayo, maiiwan kayo, sumakay na kayo. Bakit nila iniingay yan? Kasi the next stage that follows are the suckers. Sila yung bumibili sa tuktok, and at the same time, the smart money and friends of the smart money are selling into them. Kasi hindi makakalabas si smart money and friends pag walang bumili sa taas. Okay? So itong mga suckers na to, bumibili sila nung nag-iingay na si friends of the smart money. Now, baguhan ng majority dito sa ating room. Tama? Unlikely naman na smart money kayo or kilala ninyo si smart money, di ba? So kung hindi ninyo kilala si smart money, hindi rin niya kayo kilala, hindi niya kayo friends. So hindi kayo makakapasok sa stage ng smart money and hindi kayo makakapasok sa stage ng friends of the smart money. So saan kayo papasok? Doon sa suckers. Kaya yung mga baguhan laging nalulugi pag speculative stocks ang tinitrade. Nado-double whammy pa yan. So bababa yung presyo ng stock. Tapos si smart money kasi and si friends hindi pa naka-unload 100% ng mga nabili nila. So they will start another round of rumors. Ito na yung tinatawag na bull trap. May rumor na naman, si Sucker naman, feeling genius. Sasabihin niya, okay, alam ko na, I know my lesson, dapat di sa tuktok bibili. Ibili na naman siya para ma-average yung price niya. Only to find out that again, smart money and friends are selling into him. Tapos babagsak na yung presyo. So yan yung DNA of speculation. You check muna kung meron accumulation sa lower price and then yung slightly higher price. Pagka nandoon na, I'm sure, papasok ka na sa sucker's money. So avoid mo na. As much as possible, you enter the smart money and the friends of the smart money stage. Okay, never dyan sa sucker and then dun sa sucker. Okay, tomorrow madidiscuss pa rin natin yung thoroughly. Next, risk. Risk is the fear of the unknown. Or the potential of losing something of value. The chance that an investment stock, commodity will lose value. Okay. This is dumb risk, pero we always commit this. Alam natin na masama gumamit ng cellphone while walking kasi mababagsak, mahulog ka dyan sa manhole. And etong nasa right side, laging kinukumit ito ng mga lalaki. Alam natin na you don't drink and drive, pero sarap uminom and you need to go home to your wife. So, yan ang kalimitan na resulta. Alam natin na mali, pero ginagawa natin. So, ang tawag doon, dumb risk. Now, this is a picture of our distinguished Senator Manny Pacquiao. Boxer din siya, world champion. One of the greatest ever. Calculated risk yung tinitake niya. Bakit calculated risk? Kasi pagka pumirma siya ng laban, he agreed to fight somebody, meron niya sila ni Freddie Roach 3 or 4 months of training. So tinitrain niya mabuti yung katawan niya to absorb punishment and to dish out punishment. Pero kahit na nag-train na siya ng 3 or 4 months, sometimes nangyayari yan, duguan siya, and there are a few times pa nga na na-knockout siya. No? Yung laban nila ni Juan Manuel Marquez, na-knockout siya. Pero at the end of the day, alam niya kung magkano yung kikitain niya. So he's willing to go through that risk kasi calculated na yung pera na kitain niya. Ang tawag doon calculated risk. Same thing with the stock market yan. Pag calculated risk ang tinitake mo, kasi hindi naman risk free ang stock market. At the end of the day, meron ka ng target profits. Okay? This is the investment risk. Balik tayo sa trading floor. This lady standing on the floor, sakit na ng ulo niya. Hindi niya alam kung paano ipapaliwanag sa clients niya kung bakit pula yung nasa board. Red kasi represents the prices closed lower than yesterday's close. Halimbawa kahapon, it closed at 1 peso. And today, it's at 80 centavos. So 20% yung lower price niya na close today. So red yan. Pag green naman, nag-close yesterday at 1 peso, nag-close today at 1.10. So up ng 10%. Green ang color dapat board. Pag white or yellow naman, close yesterday at 1 peso, nag-close pa rin today at 4. So same change, zero change or same price lang. Pag tinignan nyo yung board, dalawa lang ata yung green and dalawa lang din ata yung yellow or white. So malaki talaga problema ni Miss Broker. No? Iniwan na nga siya ng ibang brokers, nag-uwian na. Okay, so yan yung investment risk. What is the opposite of risk? Safety. the protection from an event or from an exposure to something that causes health or economical losses. This is safety measures. You buckle up, pero kung mababasa ninyo, it could save your life. Hindi siya guaranteed to save your life. Pwede ka pa rin mamatay kahit nakabuckle up ka. Itong emergency hotlines, nilalagay natin yan usually sa refrigerator natin or sa conspicuous place na laging makikita ng member ng family natin. Pero despite that, pwede ka pa rin manakawan, pwede ka pa rin masunugan. Pero safety measure siya. We always do this. Sa stock market, we also have the safety measures. Ang tawag ko doon is margins of safety. So you use parameters in choosing stocks. Number 1 yan. Number 2, you plan your trade and you trade your plan. Tapos you prepare yourselves emotionally. Tapos number 4, isa sa pinaka-importante, learn lessons from history and be aware of current issues. Now, if you don't do the margins of safety that we discussed, para ka lang nag-casino. Pag pumasok ka sa casino, ang edge of winning is 50-50, di ba? Pwede kang matalo, 50%, pwede kang manalo, 50%, so 50-50. Ito, sa stock market, if you don't do these things, para ka lang din nag-casino. Kaya mayroong mga nagsasabi, parang casino yung stock market. They're wrong. Pag ginawa mo itong margins of safety, yung 50% odds of winning mo, nag-increase, nagiging 60, 70, 80, as high as 90% against losing. No, walang 100% kasi nga walang guarantee. Pero mapapakit mo yung odds of winning sa stock market. Okay? So, how do you do this? Parameters in choosing stocks. Number 1, dividend history. Diba, dalawa lang ang paraan sa stock market para kumita. Lagi kong in-emphasize ito. Dividend and price appreciation. Now, you don't buy a stock that doesn't give out dividend. Bakit? Kasi isa sa paraan eh. Always check on the dividend history of the stock you pick to buy. By doing so, you are also checking if the company is making profits through the years and at the same time checking how the company rewards its shareholders through dividends. The only exception to the rule is pagka yung stock is under speculative nature. Kasi pwedeng hindi siya nagbigay ng earnings for the last 20 years na nga, hindi lang last 5 years. Pero meron namang rumor na bibilin siya ng isang mas malaking company. Meron kasi tinatawag na backdoor. So yun yung mga klase ng speculation. So pagka ganung stock ang binibili mo, you throw away the dividend history. Correct? Pero pag hindi, you stick to this one. Kailangan meron siyang dividend history. Next is income statement. Of course, huwag kang bibili ng company na walang income except pagka meron siyang speculation. Now, one should always check if the company makes money from its business. If not, you should avoid this stock or company at all costs. There are years, no? Parang tao lang yan. Minsan may difficult year. Ang importante doon is you analyze how the management made adjustment to turn the next year into a profitable one. Hindi kasi taon-taon profitable, pero nag-a-adjust yung management doon. So doon mo makikita yung hallmark ng magaling na management and baka worth it na bilhin yung company nila. Okay? Number 6, financial condition. Nami-miss out ito palagi. I'll tell you the importance. In a growing economy like ours, the Philippines, we see a lot of expansion and acquisitions for the local companies. We should not be blinded by such activities. We should scrutinize further whether the company is using saved earnings in funding these activities or if they are using borrowed money. Minsan kasi may mga companies na nagda-diversify pero sobrang dami ng gusto nilang pasukan. Instead of diversifying, nagdi-divorce sila, lalong sumasama yung company. Okay, and isang culprit dyan is yung utang ng utang without using saved earnings as a means to fund their activities. Now, using borrowed money is not bad. Diba? Lahat ng tao umutang, lahat ng company umutang, lahat ng gobyerno umutang. However, check if they are sourced locally or abroad. Kasi may difference pag US dollars ang inutang mo. Pag US dollars kasi or other foreign currencies, susceptible siya to geopolitics and sudden shift in world status quo. May nagbomba sa Iraq, may nagbomba dito sa Turkey, may nagbomba sa States, apektado yung dollar na inutang mo. So yun ang problema mo dyan. Now, having debt is not a bad thing. Just make sure that the stock or company you're picking has the capacity to pay. Makikita natin yan later on sa financial condition. Okay, nakapili ka na ng stock, may parameter ka na. Ang tanong, when are you going to buy or sell a stock? There are two schools of thoughts dito. First is yung fundamental analysis, which we will discuss, I think, next week on a Sunday or a Saturday. Fundamental analysis is defined as the study of economic and financial aspects and characteristics of a security. The objective is to determine the intrinsic value, yung kabuuan ng company, based on various measures of value, such as earning potential, dividend streams, and asset values. Okay, for example, meron yung 3 stages. You're doing a fundamental analysis na. Number 1, that you will do is economic analysis. Number 2 is industry analysis. And number 3 is company analysis. Hindi tayo nag-sample sa economic analysis kasi di-discuss natin to thoroughly next week. GDP. What is GDP? GDP represents the total output of goods and services produced in the geographic borders of the Philippines in any given year, regardless of whether such goods and services are produced by Filipinos or foreign nationals. So, lahat ng goods produced, basta sa Pilipinas galing, kahit na foreign factory yan, foreign-owned factory or Filipino-owned factory, kasama sa bilang ng GDP. Kasi dati, before, ang basihan natin is yung GNP, Gross National Product. Ang definition naman ninyo is total output of goods and services produced within and outside. Sinasama yung outside of the Philippines. Now, ang problema natin doon sa outside of the Philippines, for example, si Monique Lhuillier, designer siya ng mga Hollywood stars. Ginagamit yung mga gowns niya sa Oscar, sa Emmys. Ang problema, when Monique pays taxes, it's the US government ang nakikinabang, not the Philippines. So, wala siyang bilang doon sa ating kabuuan as a country, except siguro pride, yabang, Pilipina yung gumagawa ng mga gowns. Pero monetary considerations, wala. Kasi doon siya nagbabayad ng tax, doon siya gumagastos sa Amerika, doon siya nakatira. So mas accurate yung GDP, ito na yung ginagamit natin. Of course, the higher the GDP is, the better for our economy. We will discuss that next week. Next, industry analysis. For example, hanap tayo ng company. Huwag na tayong lumayo, Jollibee. So ang first analysis mo gagawin is rivalry among existing competitors. So ever since na nag-compete ang McDonald's against rival niya na Jollibee, hindi nanalo ang McDonald's sa Pilipinas. Bakit? Siguro sa panlasa ng Pinoy, mas gusto natin yung mga Chicken Joy. Diba? Yung McDonald's nga, recently nag-add na sila ng chicken, pero hindi pa rin kasing sarap ng Chicken Joy. So, ever since talo ang McDonald's. Threat of new entrants, anong ginagawa ni Jollibee sa mga new entrants, sa mga bagong companies na pumapasok? He buys them out. Jollibee bought out Greenwich Pizza. He bought out Chowking. He bought out Mang Inasal. He bought out Red Ribbon. So walang problema sa new entrants kay Jollibee. Either he kills you or he buys you up. Threat of substitute product, wala din problema si Jollibee dyan. Bakit? Yung anak mo na nag-aaral, elementary, pabaunan mo ng Chicken Joy sa Monday. Burger, ano ba yung burger na? Champ sa Tuesday. Burger steak sa Wednesday. Palabok sa Thursday. Lumpiang Shanghai sa Friday, tuwang-tuwa pa yung anak mo. She will appreciate you or he or she will appreciate you kasi gustong-gusto niya ang Jollibee. Subukan mo siyang pakainin ng sushi. Monday, sushi, tuwan-tuwa yan. Second day, Tuesday, medyo hindi na siya nasasarapan. Thursday, ayaw niya Wednesday, ayaw niya nang kunin yung sushi na binababa mo. He cannot eat sushi for the whole week. Pero you try to give him Jollibee for the whole week, matutuwa siya. Bargaining power of suppliers, dito minsan nagka-problema si Jollibee. If you remember yung avian flu crisis, yung bird flu, nagkaroon ng mga migration kasi from birds from Europe, napunta sa Asia, nahawa yung mga Asian birds na yung mga chicken, and nagkaroon ng problema sa pagkain ng chicken. There was a time pa nga in government officials, they went live sa TV, tapos kumakain sila, sabi nila, pag pinirito mong mabuti yung chicken, patay na yung virus, you can eat it kahit may avian flu. So hindi naman tayo sumunod, di ba? So nalugi ang Jollibee doon, not only Jollibee, KFC, and other restaurants that serve chicken. So diyan, nagka-problema ang Jollibee. So that is how you do industry analysis. Itong apat na parameters na to, rivalry, threat of entrance, threat of substitute, and itong bargaining power of suppliers. Kasi apektado dyan yung company na bibilin mo. Next, company analysis, management track record. Okay, discuss natin yung pinaka-controversial right now, Lopez Group. Without political affiliation, wala pang Duterte, wala pang Leni Robredo, or your Liberal Party side, I really do not like trading Lopez Group stocks. No? Bakit? May personal reasons ako doon. Pero I like ABS kasi ABS-CBN umakyat yan ng maganda. But the other stocks hindi kasi based on their track record. If you recall, early 90s, the Lopez Group was awarded, or mid-90s na, the area of Bulacan, Caloocan, Novaliches, malaking area yan. It's bigger than Metro Manila. Binigay sa kanila yan para mag-put up ng telecommunications company. So they set up buy and tell. Okay? Nung time na yan, PLDT was already engaging themselves with fiber optics kasi lahat ng mga telephone lines natin nasa poste. And medyo hindi maganda yung system na yan. During those times, naalala ko nga, no, pag sinabi nung HR na submit your resume online, nung late 90s, ang internet is yung dial-up. So pag nag-submit ka ng resume mo, lalong-lalo na yung 2x2 picture mo, pag sumalang yon, let's say, nilagay mo at 8 a.m., by 10 a.m., 2 hours after, tamatan na yan. Tapos pagdating ng mga 12, half a day na, nandito ka na sa mouth. Tapos biglang mawawala yung connection mo, putol. Okay? So yun ang problema doon sa dial-up. Hindi kaya yun ng telephone lines na nasa poles. Kailangan naka-fiber optic ka. Ito ngayon si Buy and Tell, bagong-bago yung franchise niya, binigyan siya ng area na maganda. Laki nun, it's just a stone throw away from Metro Manila. In fact, some parts of Metro Manila, sa niya. Anong ginawa niya? Instead of using or utilizing fiber optics, ang ginamit niya yung telephone poles pa din and telephone lines. So on the end, nalugi yung Buy and Tell, na bankrupt. Okay? And then he also got to utilities, no? Yung water utilities. Sa kanila yung Maynilad. Ang mandate ng MWSS sa kanila, Maynilad and Manila Water, is baguhin yung linya ng tubig sa Metro Manila. Bakit? Kasi yung linya ng tubig sa Metro Manila, old as pre-war pa. Bago pa mag-World War II, ang nagkabit pa yung mga Amerikano. So you can just imagine the leaks and then yung mga kalawang. So, ang mandate ng MWSS, i-privatize, tas palitan din yan. So, Manila Water followed. Palit sila ng mga linya. Maynilad, which is Lopez owned, hindi masyado. Parang sa kanila, okay pa naman yung tubo, bayaan mo lang. Since isa sa mga mandates, lalakasan na yung pressure ng tubig para umabot na sa mga parts ng Metro Manila na walang water kasi it's the 90s na, no? Wala pang tubig yung ibang parts. I think residing in BF Homes Parañaque during that time. High-end na subdivision na yon, pero wala kaming tubig. We have to rely on delivery, water delivery every other day. So binigyan ng mandate. So nung inon na yung malakas na tubig, ano nangyari doon sa mga pipes ng Maynilad? Nagputukan kasi hindi nila pinalitan. Ang irony pa noon, mas mataas pa yung singil nila sa Manila Water per cubic meter kahit na yung Manila Water nagpalit ng mga bagong tubo. So ano nangyari? Bankrupt din yung Maynilad. Nabenta nila yan. And savior is MVP Group, Manny Pangilinan. No, kaya pag nata-traffic kayo, nung nagda-drive kayo, I'm sure na-experience niyo to. May makikita kayong mga hukay sa kalye. Anong nakalagay doon? Dadaloy din ang ginhawa, Maynilad. Bakit? Kasi ngayon pa lang sila nagpapalit ng mga pipelines. Okay? Tapos yung Meralco is theirs also. Kaproblema din sila doon. So yun yung management track record that I don't like about the Lopez Group. Pero yung ABS-CBN nila is really earning very well. Kaya lang, nagka-problema this year. Okay, earnings report. Alam natin yan. You check 5 years or even 10 years down the road. Tingnan mo kung kumikita. If not, medyo avoid ka. Expansionary plans. Yun yung ginawa ng Lopez. Nag-expand sila ng expand. Nag-diversify sila. Pasok sila sa telecom. Pasok sila sa water utilities. Pasok sila sa power generation. too much diversification, nag-diversification. In fact, yung holding company nila before, yung Benpress Holdings, na bankrupt yun. Tinalan lang nila ng pangalan, ginawa nilang Lopez Holdings ngayon. Okay? Tapos, management and employer relationship, importante yan. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, between mid-90s to late 90s, yung PLDT nagmamigrate from pole lines to fiber optics. Sinong mga naapektuhan ng trabaho? Yung mga tawag doon, yung mga telephone operator nila, and then yung mga umakit sa poste ng mga engineers. Kasi you don't need na, fiber optics na, nasa ilalim na ng lupa. So nawalan sila ng trabaho, anong ginawa nila? Nag-boycott sila, nag-rally sila doon sa harapan ng Ramon Coanco Building, yung headquarters ng PLDT. Halos inoccupy nila yung Ayala at Makati Avenue noon, traffic noon, sobra. And it lasted for several months. Pag napapadaan ka nga doon, may makikita kang mga banners or placards. I don't know if some of you are even born during those times. Ano? Pag napadaan ka doon, may makikita ka na placard nakalagay. Sa amin ang hirap, kasi kay Gretchen ang sarap. Kasi yung chairman nila, si Tony Boy Coanco, was the partner of Gretchen Barreto. Pero that was the past. Ang nangyari noon, nagkaroon ng difficulty in PLDT to the point of declaring bankruptcy again. Sino uli ang white knight nila? MVP Group na naman, si Manny Pangilinan. So MVP Group owns PLDT right now. So importante yung i-check din ninyo yung management-employer relationship. Ito yung pumapasok sa company analysis. Okay. Yung pinaka-importante sa lahat, technical analysis. Huwag kayong mawawala bukas kasi this will make or break your journey to the stock market. Technical analysis refers to the methodology of forecasting fluctuations in securities prices. This methodology can be applied either to individual securities or to the industry or to the market as a whole. Technical analysis involves the use of charts, technical trading rules, and indicators. Kanina binigyan ko kayo ng pahapyaw, di ba, sa support and resistance. Tomorrow we will discuss so much. Chart patterns, lagging indicators, leading indicators, yung system ko na case, i-discuss ko tomorrow. Kasi sa sobrang dami ng indicators na ginagamit sa technical analysis, malilito kayo if you don't stick to what works for you. Yung case system ko, that is the system that has worked for me for the last 26 years. I-share ko yan sa inyo tomorrow. Okay, technical analysis is for both an art and a science. Bakit siya art and a science? Science siya kasi based on previous prices siya. So hindi mo mababag yun. Art naman siya kasi you will predict based on the chart patterns. Tapos i-apply mo indicator. Nandoon naman yung interpretation ng each individual na iba-iba din. So tomorrow natin i-discuss yan. So gawa tayo ng sample stock. Lahat ng diniscuss natin kanina, i-apply natin. For example, MegaWorld ang napili ninyong stock. What is MegaWorld? The company is engaged in development of large-scale mixed-use planned communities or townships that integrate residential, commercial, leisure, and entertainment components. It has also evolved into property-related activities such as project design, construction, and property management. Huwag kayo pipili ng stock nang hindi nyo alam yung negosyo. Yun yung practice nito, yun yung exercise na ito. Kaya bakit sinabi ko pa kung ano yung MegaWorld. Kasi alam naman natin kung ano yung MegaWorld, di ba? So minsan may mga businesses sila na underneath sa mga subsidiaries nila na maaaring hindi kayo aware. For example, yung San Miguel, ang alam lang karamihan is San Miguel Beer. Ultimo Mantika pala meron, Ultimo Butter meron, di ba? So importante, you understand the company that you're buying. So gawa natin siya ng trading plan. Nagbigay ba siya ng dividend history? No, okay. This is old, no? Pero just for example lang naman. On 2014, June 25, nagbigay siya ng 4 centavos. Tama, laking company niyan, MegaWorld. Pero ang dividend na binigay is 4 centavos. So kung magiging long-term investor ka talaga, dapat frequently bumibili ka ng stock na yan o kaya napakalaki ng holdings mo. Ex-dividend date is June 25, 2014. Importante ito. You have to understand what ex-dividend date means. Ang ibig sabihin ng ex-dividend date, on June 25, 2014, tapos na yung magkakaroon ng dividend. Ibig sabihin, dapat before June 25, nakabili ka na ng MegaWorld. So kung June 25 ka palang bibili, hindi ka na makakabil ng dividend. Kaya kalimitan minsan, pag in-announce yung dividend ng isang stock, let's say ex-dividend date is June 25, makikita mo few days before, 23, 24, umakit yung stock kasi madaming bumibili. They want to avail of the dividend. Alright? Record date is June 30 kasi pwede mong i-sell yan eh. So, dapat as of the record date, nandoon ka pa rin sa listahan ng company na shareholder ka para maka-avail ka ng dividend na porcentabos. And then payment date is the date that you will receive the cash or stock. Kung stock dividend man ang binigay, makikredit yan doon sa account mo sa broker. So kung cash siya, pwede mong i-withdraw anytime or pwede mo siyang gamiting pambili. Okay, pag stock naman siya, you can sell the stock and may proceeds mapupunta sa iyo. Now, for example, you have 1 million shares of Mega World. No, at 4 pesos, let's say, that's 4 million pesos, yung dividend na ma-receive mo is 40,000 pesos. Yan yung share mo as a part owner of the company. Kita yan sa company. Next, income statement and earnings. Now, 2014 net income ni Mega World is 21.5 billion pesos. 2013 net income is 9 billion. So, i-compare mo siya sa preceding year. Obviously, ang laki ng kinita ni Mega World. No? From 9 billion, naging 21 billion. So, good. Pasado siya dun sa annual. Quarterly naman, 2015. Net income, first quarter, 2.3 billion. Tapos, yung compare mo siya sa first quarter, year on year, noong 2014, first quarter net income, 2.6. Mas malaki yung previous year. Pero okay lang, hindi naman kasi nagkakalayo. 2.6 and 2.3. And if you will analyze, 2014 was a very good year for Mega World kasi ang earnings sila umabot ng 21.5. Pero in that 2015 annual earnings, nalampasan pa nila yung 21.5 billion. So very good talaga si Mega World during those time. So pasado siya sa pangalawa nating parameter, which is income statement. Next, financial condition ni Mega World. Now, hindi natin kailangan maging magpaka-genius or we act like we are accountants. Ano? Basic lang titingnan mo. You go for the current assets. For the current year, ang assets niya is 125 billion. Ano ba ibig sabihin ng current assets? These are assets na pwede mong i-convert into cash within a span of 1 year. So sa loob ng 1 year, pwede mong gawing cash yung assets na yan, current assets. Ibabangga mo yan doon sa current liabilities. Yung current liabilities niya is 38 billion. So kung mag-mature man yung current liabilities, ito yun, yung mga utang na nagmamature within the year, kayang-kaya bayaran ni Mega World kasi meron siyang current assets na 122 billion tapos ang current liability niya is 38 billion lang. Tapos titingnan mo din yung total assets and total liabilities. Total assets is 221 billion tapos ang total liability niya this year is 92 billion. So, kayang-kaya niyang bayaran. Financially sound or financially conditioned ba ang Mega World? Pasado sa ating parameter. So, kompleto na. Dividend history, income or earnings, and then financial condition. Pasado siya. Pupunta na tayo ngayon sa technical analysis. Kailan ka bibili? Ito yung stock ng Mega World during the time na June 8 to 2015. Na-identify ko yung dito sa left side, nandiyan yung mga support and resistances na. At that time, nasa mga 460 level siya. I made this stock June 8, 2015. Sunday ata yan or Monday. Basta kasi nung Monday, the following day, nagkaroon ako ng seminar sa PSE in front of, I think, mga 500 people. Nagbigay ko itong Mega World. So sabi ko, meron na siyang strong support at 460, you may enter. And the swerte ng mga maten na yun kasi 2 weeks after, it went to as high as mga 560 for around 30-35% return. So not bad for 2 weeks, di ba? So, ang purpose ng exercise natin, the things that we discussed earlier today works. It works kasi in-apply natin sa isang stock, sample stock, which is Mega World, and in-apply din natin sa actual trading. Okay? Now tomorrow, I will expound more on technical analysis kasi sobrang daming information on ma-overload kayo. We stick to basics today. Maintindihan lang ninyo how the stock market works. These are my stock picks in 2010. Mega World, paborito ko yan. ICTSI, sabi ko nga. Security Bank, Jollibee, Universal Rubina, BDO. So you can see that the returns it made. Bagal pa yung market medyo noon eh. Pero maganda pa rin yung returns na binigay. 120 to 570, 27 pesos to 117, Security Bank 50 to 180, Jollibee 60 to 230, Universal Rubina 26 to 232. Ang galing, no? Pero maniwala ba kayo sa hindi? In 2009, Universal Rubina was at 2 or 4 pesos. Correct. Dahil galing tayo sa uh, US subprime mortgage crisis noong 2008. So bumagsak lahat ng mga stocks. 2009, Universal Rubina is at 4 pesos. If I'm not mistaken, 2 pesos pa nga. 2 pesos per share. You can just imagine yung binibili ninyong chippy. Mahal nun, di ba? Yung maliit nun, mga 5 pesos siguro. C2 is around 8 pesos. Instead of buying chippy and C2, dapat binili na lang ninyo ng Universal Rubina. At 2009 price of 2 pesos, 2015 naging 232 pesos. You can just imagine ilang percent return na. BDO, they always find ways, 40 pesos to 120. Ako sabihin nyo, sir, ang tagal na yan eh, 2010 pa yan. Paano naman kami, ngayon lang kami papasok sa market. These are my picks for 2018 to 2019. House or 8990 holdings, 715 to 1640, 128% return. LR, 16%. ANI, 21%. IRC, luma pa ito, 108 to 176. IRC went to as high as 8 to 9 pesos noong 2019. ISM, IRC went to as high as 297, not 8 pesos. ISM, yung bagong dito ngayon, ito yung third telco dito, telecommunication, 140, nung nag-recommend ako, lower pa nga, I was recommending this around 110, 120. Umabot siya ng 8 to 9 pesos. And then web, 14%. Okay? So, yung nangyari ng 2000, nangyari din yan ng 2018. Noong 2016, ang picks ko is yung mga gaming. Bakit gaming ang pinili ko? Madi-discuss ko yan tomorrow further. Kasi nung naupo si Duterte, nag-pivot agad siya towards China. Remember, nung panahon ni Pinoy, nagkaroon ng problema ang China and Philippines. Kasi nga, yung sa West Philippine Sea, and then yung sa Hong Kong, yung mga tourist na massacre sa Luneta. So, nag-travel ban ng China. Pero nung naupo si Duterte, nag-pivot siya towards China. So, ini-expect ko na magbabalikan ng mga Chinese tourists at kikita ng malaki. Tuloy na. Bloomberry, na-recommend ko at around 450, went to as high as mga 13 pesos. Same thing with Melco Crown, and etc. etc. We will discuss that tomorrow. So these are my picks for 2018 and 19. Recently, this year, 2020, may mga picks na ako na umakyat. If you follow my FB post, I'm sure you're making money as well. So how will you thank me? Hindi naman ito libre, di ba? Okay? We've spent almost 2 hours or a little less than 2 hours. By December or January, kahit na hindi pa natatapos yung COVID-19, if you make 30-40% return based on what we discussed this morning, mamaya bibigay ko yung contact details ko. Masaya na ako sa ice cold beer. Okay? Pagka naman na-tsempuan yung speculative stock and you made a lot of money to the point na para kayo nanalo sa loto, this is the car that I always wanted to buy. The 1967 Mustang GT Shelby. May pangalan yan, pangalan na ito. Sa ano to sa Gone in 60 Seconds. Kotse doon ni Nicolas Cage. So yan yung gusto kong kotse. I'm an old soul. Ayoko ng mga bagong cars. Ito yung gusto ko. Anyway, thank you so much. And this is my contact numbers. You can send me an email at fbmartinez@apec.invest.ph and then Facebook page of Fernando Martinez-Kish. And meron pa akong isa, yung APEC Wealth Consulting Corp. And then meron akong Facebook group, Smart Investors, Bears and Bulls. Walang nang-hype dyan. Most of the time, charts ang sinishare dyan and mga news. Kasi masyado tayo mga masisipag, hindi na tayo nagkakaroon ng time manood ng news sa umaga. So online na. So you can go to these pages and groups para magkaroon kayo ng idea kung ano nangyayari sa investing world. Mobile numbers there, Twitter, you can follow me. Nagpo-post din ako dyan, Instagram, and then you can visit our website, www.eagle-equity.net. Thank you so much. And then we will proceed na to Q&A. Kung meron kayong mga tanong at na sasagutin ko as much as possible lahat. Pero kung hindi man natin ma-accommodate lahat, pwede kong sagutin yan. You can send me a private message, tapos sasagutin ko kayo privately. Pero right now, we will proceed with the Q&A. Olga? Olga, you can moderate na sa Q&A.
Hello? Can you hear me? Thank you, Mr. Fernando Martinez. You may now start posting your questions in our chat box. Okay, first question is from Mr. Silva. How to open an account po and how much to open?
Okay. As I said, no, you have to go to a broker. Tapos you fill out the client account information form, yung kahit na tinatawag or account opening forms. And then once you have opened that, you may fund the account. Now, iba-iba yung mga requirements ng brokerage. Now, may mga brokerage na 10,000, yung iba pa nga as low as 5,000. Sa amin sa Eagle is 25,000. Why 25,000? Because I think it's enough for you to learn the stock market with that amount, without over committing a large amount of fund. Kasi kung napakaliit din, let's say 5,000 lang ang inopen mo, you will fund din eventually. So mas maganda na meron ka ng question, meron ka ng 25,000 doon, you can buy 1, 2, or 3 stocks at the most. And then you can practice what you learned this morning. And I'm sure you will commit all the mistakes kahit na nakinig ka na ng mabuti this morning.
Okay.
Next question.
Second question from Ms. Gracie Mangalus. How do you assist investors from overseas?
Okay. I always post my report on my social media accounts. And then we also send it to them via email, lalong-lalo na pag it's an Eagle Equities report. So sometimes we give them updates on the stocks or companies involved, and then we also give out recommendations. So recommendation is not a guarantee to make money, but more or less we are giving you a trading range for you to decide on which price to enter and which price to exit. So we provide those services to all of our clients, not only those who are based overseas, but in local clients there.
Okay, next question from Mr. Silva. May guide po ba na ipaprovide ang Eagle sa mga newbies, like mga research reports or stock recommendations?
Okay, I think parang same answer with the one that was asked by Miss Gracie, no? So yung mga reports, pinopost ko yan sa social media and we send them out via email then. Yes, we have.
Okay. Next question from Mr. Alex San Miguel. Hi, what is your recommended portfolio allocation in terms of percentage? Number 1, long-term trading and scalping. Number 2, blue chips, dividend growth, cyclical asset.
Okay, depende yan sa risk profile ng client. No? Kasi may mga client talaga na risk averse. Ayaw nila ng mga risky issues or stocks. So, nilalagay mo siya mostly sa blue chips or ang pinaka-exposure niya sa medyo speculative or medyo volatile is yung second liners na. So, sa mga risk pro naman, yung willing to take the risk, pwede ka maglagay ng konting speculative and a few second liners. So sa mga risk prone, yung gustong mabilisan na action, hindi ka naman maglalagay ng blue chips doon. So it all depends on the risk profile of the client. Wala akong fix na recommend per client kasi eventually it's their money, it's their decision. So ang ginagawa ko lang is binabase ko lang yung recommendation doon sa risk profile niya.
Okay, next question is from Mr. Babiera. Regarding preferred stock, could we sell also this stock?
Yes, it is traded like a common stock. Nakalist din yan sa stock exchange. If you have the time, you can look at a newspaper, makikita ninyo doon. No? For example, lalo na yung PLDT, ang daming preferred niyan from A to Z ata. PLDT A, B, C, D, E, F, G, ang haba niyan. Ang problem lang yung liquidity. Since sabi ko nga, bumibili niyan mostly is mga institution, hindi naman sila nagbebenta at nagsisell actively. Pag in-offer kasi yung preferred shares, kinakain na nila yan. Dahil ang habol nila is yung dividend coupon na annual na binibigay. Kasi nga meron siyang element ng fixed income. So very unlikely yung actively trading na preferred shares.
Okay. Next question is from Miss Osorio. What is the key point to determine the growth of stocks? Again, what is the key point to determine the growth of stocks?
Well, obviously, earnings.
The growth
No?
stocks.
Obviously, earnings. If the earnings is better than the previous year, no? Hindi lang previous year. You have to go back at least 5 years or even go down further. If you see constantly improving yung earnings ng company, or let's say may mga exceptions, may year na biglang bumagsak, pero the following year nag-recover sila. That's one of the key points in determining whether this is a growth stock or not. Dahil if there's no growth, zero growth, hindi yan qualify doon sa growth stocks. Next question,
Okay.
please.
Next is there a range based on financial statement?
Range, what do you mean range? Sa income? Wala namang
Okay.
range, no? Dahil each company, iba-iba yung earning potential niyan eh. As I said nga, mayroon pang classification. Pag blue chip, siyempre, you are probably the top of your sector. So, ang earnings halos dominated mo. So, there may be companies that are earning in the billions, pero ang growth niya is napakaliit na lang. 1 billion a year yung earnings niya, pero hindi na nag-i-increase, laging 1 billion a year na lang. Pero may company naman na nag-start lang ng 50 million yung earnings, pero the following year, 100 million, tapos naging 200. So yung growth rate niya is laging 100%. So wala siyang fix, no? It is based on performance on a percentage basis year on year. Tapos dapat nag-reflect yun sa stock market price, di ba? So kung umaakyat yung earnings ng company, eventually dapat hahabol yung stock market price.
Okay. Next question is from Miss Tin. Miss Dannery, best advice for a beginner?
You should start small. I know some of you here have 1 million or 2 million to spare. Avoid rushing into the stock market. Open as much as possible 25, 30,000 or even 50,000 pesos. Bakit? You consider that as your own tuition fee. Bakit ko sinabing tuition fee? Because you will commit all the mistakes at the start. Kahit na ilang seminar ang attendan mo. Kasi wala ka pa nung experience eh. So lahat yan makukumit mo, lahat ng mistakes makukumit mo. It is better to commit all those mistakes habang maliit pa lang yung pera mo. Nasa 25,000 pa lang, 30,000. Not commit mistakes when your money is already in the millions. So pag na-commit mo na yung mistakes mo using 30 or 50,000 pesos initial funding, medyo confident ka na, uy, alam ko na kung bakit ako nagkamali, nagkaroon ka ng back check, tinignan mo bakit ako nalugi sa ganitong particular na transaction, then you can add. And then eventually, stock market trading will be so easy for you, pang second nature na lang yun sa'yo, but you will need the experience. Next.
Okay, next question. From Mr. Paul Pachingel. Is there market manipulation in the Philippine stock market like in the US?
Okay, it's a what do you call this? Parang secretly it is happening. Everybody's aware, but nobody's willing to expose it or open up. Kasi part and parcel siya ng trading. Eh. Just like what I said earlier, merong investing, merong trading, and merong talagang speculating, which is not really bad as long as you know what you are getting into. Ang problema lang naman dyan kasi newbies kasi pagpasok bago sa stock market, gusto parang nanalo agad ng lotto or lottery. So punta agad sa speculation without even understanding what investing or trading is all about. Basta gusto nila chismis, oh may chismis dito. We have this notion kasi na parang pag hindi ka insider, hindi ka magaling. That is not true. You can be a good trader or investor just by buying and selling stocks na umakit ng 10, 20, 30%. Hindi mo kailangan makahit ng home run, yung mga palaging 100, 200, 300, 400% return, yung tinatawag na multi-bagger. Now, with regards to speculation, mahirap kasi i-prove yan eh. Kagaya ng sinabi ko, may stages. So smart money, kung gusto mong i-prove yung speculation, you have to identify those people who are buying at the smart money stage. Ang problema, hindi nga natin nakikita, hindi nga natin napapansin yan na nag-accumulate na pala sila. Slowly nila ginagawa yan. So, makikita mo lang sa chart, oh, may unusual activity, parang may nag-iipon. So, you as an investor, you take advantage of that information. Pero, for you to prove and go beyond your scope na sabihin mo, ay, mayroong speculation yan. Mahirap kasi magbintang if you cannot prove it yourself. Baka magka-problema ka sa SEC. Okay? Continue writing your questions. Sandali lang. I'll just go to the comfort room. Okay? Sandali lang. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay, just keep your questions coming.
Okay, I'm back. Next question.
Okay, next question. Wait, just a second. Next question from Mr. Joe Carl Zaide. Investing
Yes.
in PSE is like investing in a big or established corporation. What is your opinion on angel investing? Investing in a future unicorn with guaranteed returns?
Okay. There's a thin line that separates angel investing and those that are giving away guaranteed returns. The notion for angel investing is providing funds for a startup, and in return, on your part, you're not expecting any return na. Bakit? Kasi you're an angel, you're a savior to them. Okay, I believe in your advocacy, I believe in your company, here's my 10,000 pesos. Here's my 100,000 pesos, or here's my 1 million pesos. If you happen to succeed, return it to me, thank you. That's the notion of angel investing. But people are misconstruing the fact they're using angel investing as a tool to scam people. More often than not, they use angel investing. They invite investors. Okay, you buy into our company, and for them to do that, they are giving away guaranteed returns on a annual basis. Once you do guaranteed returns, it is already illegal. And then second part, if you go beyond 20 investors dito sa Pilipinas, and you can check this with the SEC, if you invite more than 20 investors, you are violating the Unregistered Securities Act. So parang nagbebenta ka ng securities na hindi registered sa SEC, which is illegal. As much as possible, if you receive these kinds of offer, check with the SEC, check with the company kung legal siya or not. Kasi the SEC have a list of companies that allows certain individuals to offer investments. For example, I am a licensed broker. I can offer investments sa mga listed companies. You can check my credentials sa SEC. Meron yan silang website to check kung licensed ba ako na stockbroker. In the same token, yung mga ibang mga companies na nag-offer ng investments na kung ano-ano, yung iba dyan, too good to be true na, no-offer ka ng guaranteed returns, you go to the SEC and check them out. As I said, ang notion ng angel investing is very noble yan. They help out startups, pero they don't expect anything in return. Yun yung totoong notion ng angel investing. Now, if you go to angel investing to get guaranteed returns, outrageous returns, there's something wrong with you. Meron ng problema yan. I suggest check them out with the SEC, the proper authorities. Okay?
Okay. Next question is from Miss Everly Kerr. Why are companies trading below book value?
Okay. Book value kasi is different from market value. Book value is that's the intrinsic value, yung assets niya, and then you divide it to the number of shares of the company. Yun yung book value. But meron kasing factors na futures earnings. Okay, so pina-factor yan sa trading. Meron naman kagaya ng sa ABS-CBN, for example. Early this year pa lang or late last year, sinabi na ni Duterte, no, hindi kayo makaka-renew. So mayroon ng mga may mga investors na nagbenta ng ABS-CBN shares. And you can do that because you are free to buy or sell, di ba? Part yun ng shareholder right mo. Now, there are times na sa sobrang dami nagbebenta, bumababa pa sa book value. But it doesn't change the fact na yung book value, for example, ang book value ng company is 5 pesos. And bago nagkaroon ng negative news, nagtitrade siya at 7 or 8 market value niya. So, ibig sabihin, he is trading at a premium kasi ang book value niya is 5 lang, pero sa market is 7 pesos. Pero pagka nagkaroon ng negative news, babagsak dahil magbebentahan yung mga investors, yung market value niya book value niya remains at 5, pero yung market value niya goes lower than book value. It can happen. So normal yan sa stock market. And parcel yan ng demand and supply. Pag mas madaming buyers, it will go up. Pag mas madaming sellers, it will go down.
Okay.
Thank you. Next question.
Next is from Mr. Ronald Padua. He has given a scenario. For example, I bought a stock at 10 pesos and after 2 months dropped at 8 pesos. Can I sell it for me to stop my loss?
Yes. Once you get into a position, any position for that matter, you can already sell it at once. No? Pagkabili mo pa lang, you can sell it if you want to. You can sell it a day, an hour later, a day later, a week later, a month later, or a year later. Ganon ka-dynamic yung stock market. May threshold siya na may depth siya na pwede kang magbenta at bumili any given time. Wala siyang restriction na pag binili mo yung araw na to, you cannot sell until 1 month or 2 months. So you can buy and sell anytime. Inherent right yun, nandun sa shareholders right yun, number 1 yun, transfer shares among yourselves. Diba? Diniscuss natin kanina umaga. Next.
Okay. Next question is from Mr. Arthur Babiera. For growth stock, how long will you hold your investment?
Okay. The way I do my trading plan is not on time period. I do it on target prices. If you follow me closely sa social media, mapapansin mo, mayroon akong entry level and then yung target price sa taas and then yung target naman sa cut loss kasi wala kang guarantee sa stock market. Yung plan mo na aakyat siya may happen, so execute mo yun, let's say 40% gain, dapat magbenta ka na. You follow your trading plan. And at the same token, pagka bumili ka at hindi nag-materialize yung trading plan mo, bumaba, meron ka ding dapat cut loss point. So it's not on a matter of time. If the 40% na tina-target ko happens in a day or two, I'll take it. If it happens a month later, I'll take it.
Okay. Next question is from Mr. Mark Ding Lasan. Do you have a private group where you recommend it's time to buy and sell a specific stock? If meron, how to join?
Yung diniscuss ko kanina ng mga FB groups and FB pages, ilalabas ko yung mga recommendation ko doon. If you don't like naman groups and FB pages, kasi nga medyo may mga hype, pero doon sa mga groups ko, wala. It's pure news and pure recommendation lang based on chart. You can also add me sa FB. I also post it on my own timeline. So wala naman akong, once I gave out target prices, I gave it out to everybody. Hindi ako naniningil, hindi ako nagbebenta ng recommendations.
Next question is from Mr. Noel De La Rosa. What are your stock picks for this year to 2020 and 2021?
Okay. I will discuss that. Wait. Huwag natin i-preempt. Kailan yung schedule natin? Wait. Okay, ito.
Ng ano, sir?
Yung session number 4. The worst may be over. Sectors and stock to watch. So doon ako magbibigay ng
September
recommendation.
6.
This is scheduled on September 6. Tomorrow,
Yes.
tayo? Technical analysis. Okay? So, tuturuan ko kayo how to enter a stock position and then exit a stock position. Kasi mahirap na nga mag-press ng buy button pero mas mahirap mag-press ng selling button. So tomorrow, yun yung i-discuss ko sa inyo, mga factors affecting your decisions to buy and sell stock based on technical analysis. Tapos yung stocks to watch nga, sabi ko nga, September 6 yun, under the worst may be over, the sectors and stocks to watch. So I suggest mag-register din kayo dun sa webinar na yun. Next.
Okay. Next question is from Mr. Joe Carl. When do you plan to roll out your online trading platform?
Okay, it was supposed to roll out second quarter of this year, kaya lang inabot kami ng COVID. Okay, so yun ang naging problema. In fact, early this year, naglabas na ako ng teaser nun eh. Pero just the same, last week kausap namin ng PSE and we told them that we would like to proceed with our plan. So sinabi nila sa amin na to conduct trainings again and then baka itong third quarter ma-launch namin. Hopefully, basta before the end of the year, we will be able to launch the Eagle online platform.
Okay, next question is from Mr. Ibero. Do you have a mentoring program? If meron, how to join po?
Okay, as I said, hindi ako naniningil eh. In fact, this is a free session for you. Hindi lang siya basic. Today is basic, but yung mga susunod dating session is advanced. Hindi ako naniningil. Alam niyo kung bakit? This is my birthday month. September is my birthday. So this is my way of giving out. Instead ako nakaka-receive ng gift, I always give out. In the previous years, lagi din ganyan. Meron akong live sessions. I think that was 2017 or something for free din yun. May pa-lunch pa ako for the attendees. So it's my way of giving thanks or paying it forward sa investing public. A mentoring program kasi you will mentor an individual or a group for a fee, no? I don't do that. As much as possible, I give out my recommendations and my ideas and my thoughts to everyone for free. So you just have to follow my social media accounts para makita yung mga gano'n.
Okay. Let's go to our last question, sir. Or
siguro last 5, madadali lang naman yung mga sagot nila.
Okay. Next question is from Mr. Brady Racho. For you, sir, what is the ideal cut loss percentage?
Depende sa stock. Kasi there are stocks na medyo mabagal gumalaw eh. I can afford to wait. Pero if you will see doon sa post ko sa mga social media accounts ko, more or less hindi ako lumalampas sa 20%. No? So nasa mga 10, 15 or maximum of 20% yung cut loss point. Next.
Okay, next question. Okay. Do you also act from Miss San Juan? Do you also act as a fund manager where you will be the one to manage my portfolio? How much do you charge?
Okay. Individuals, except for friends and family, I do manage accounts. No? Pero for sa mga retail, hindi masyado. Right now, meron akong fund from Japan na minamanage na nasa billions yun. Pero nakapasok na yan sa mga stocks, no, as a private equity infusion. So, hindi ako nagmamanage for retail. I do have some pero for institutional. And then, of course, I trade for my family.
Okay. Next question from Steve Delmar. Sir, any thoughts on trading index funds?
Okay. Index funds kasi is for institution. Bakit? Kasi they buy certain stocks, full of baskets na stocks of basket of stocks. Parang pina-follow niyan or tina-track yung index. Okay? Sa individual, if you will trade index funds, I would rather trade individual stocks. Kasi individual stocks, mas volatile siya. Now, kung hindi ka naman, kung medyo risk averse ka naman, you can do trading trade index funds. Parang problema mga slow moving yan. Ginagamit yan ng mga fund managers to average their position on particular stocks. Halimbawa, meron silang malaking position sa PLDT. Okay? Yung PLDT is part of an index fund, pero may mga ibang mga companies na kasama doon. So kahit na bumaba yung PLDT, yung index fund nila is secured kasi may mga iba pang mga stocks na kasama. So kung portfolio manager ka, magiging advantageous sa'yo to trade index fund. Pero kung retail ka, hindi masyado magkakaroon ng impact yan. No? In fact, magugulo pa yung strategy mo doon sa individual stocks. Pagka risk averse ka, takot ka sa mga volatility, you may trade exchange traded funds or index funds. Next.
Okay, next question is from Mr. Paul Pachingel. If you have long-term investments, do you check your portfolio daily or no?
Well, ang notion or idea of going long is you don't worry yourselves with day-to-day fluctuation. No, kasi nga satisfied ka na doon sa dividend na kinukuha mo. You go long term because you have dividends to expect from that company. Otherwise, bakit ka bibili kung wala kang ine-expect? Dalawa lang ang forms para kumita sa stock market, dividend and price appreciation. So kung hindi ka interested sa price appreciation, dividend dapat meron. Bakit? Kasi ang purpose mo is capital preservation. O napakalaki ng pera mo, hindi mo na kailangan kumita, gusto mo lang matalo yung inflation, so you buy blue chips. Tapos yung dividend niyan is enough to beat the blue chips, is enough to beat the inflation na nangyayari taon-taon. So yun yung purpose niyan. Dapat hindi ka na tumitingin ng day-to-day fluctuation. Okay, last question na tayo.
Okay, last question. What is your... Wait, sorry. Hindi ko mabasa. Sorry,
What is
sir.
your thoughts about dito telecoms? Okay. Ito, without boasting.
Sorry, sir. It's about viewpoint on dito. Sorry.
Okay.
It's about
These
the
will-
ACS of 40 billion and shares
Okay.
with dito CME. Kasi parang nakakalito eh. Heavily invested ako dito pero hindi namin maintindihan kung nasan ba yung dito telecommunity in terms of dito CME, something like that. And the other question is about IRC and also invested with IRC. Parang hindi na ho siya umangat po. Thank you.
Okay. Ganito yun, ano? Dito telecommunications, no? Or dito itself. I was the first few brokers who recommended a buy with ISM. ISM yan dati, di ba? Bakit ko siya na-recommend? Kasi I feel na yung company has enough resources kasi may partner yan na German and then meron silang funds. So, tinake over siya nandito. Without me knowing na siya pala yung pipiliin ng dito, na-recommend ko na yan nung nag-uumpisa pa lang yung third telco wars dahil meron Now, dito, ICT Converge, di ba? ISM pala, wala pa nga sa running nun eh. Now and ICT Converge ang naglalaban. Pero dark horse pick ko yung ISM. Now, siya yung pinili ng dito to take over and then siya eventually yung nag-bid and nanalo. At naging third telco. Okay. Yung speculation ng third telco, kung sino man nanalo, yun yung nag-push from 1 peso to mga 8 plus, diba? Or 9 pa nga ata. Natapos na yung speculation na yun. So, tapos na yung speculation na yun. If you are buying dito right now, you are buying dito for the long term. Okay? Ang ibig sabihin niyan, right now, ang earnings ng dito is almost none. Non-existent. Kasi nagpo-put up pa lang sila ng kanilang mga infrastructure. Yung mga towers nila, and madami pa yan. It will probably take about 2 years more. But if they will be able to come up with that infrastructure and provide a better option, I am sure na sila yung makakakuha ng lion's shares. Kasi right now, until such time na hindi nag-i-improve yung PLDT and Globe, people are looking for alternative. Now, that is yung doon na pumapasok ngayon yung factor kanina na tinanong na bakit yung book value hindi gumagalaw. Kasi dito telecoms, future earnings na ang tinatayaan mo ngayon. What the company is going to be a year from now or 2 years from now. So kung bumibili ka ng dito right now, wag mong basahin yung mga umuutang sila ng ganito. Part yun ng kanilang company operations kasi they cannot put out all those towers kung hindi sila uutang. Malaki yung capital outlay niyan. Now, are they capable of paying? Now, you do your due diligence. Tingnan mo yung financial conditions ng company. Ang ma-advise ko lang, if you're buying dito right now, you don't buy it for short term. Hindi tapos na yung speculation. Sila na yung third telco. So you wait for them to maging fully operational. And then you wait, pumasok yung earnings nila, yung mga subscribers nila, kung madami, that will change the landscape na for dito. Okay, for IRC, 2020 is supposed to be a big year for IRC kasi dapat 2020 i-announce kung sino yung company na mag-construct ng subway. Kaya lang nagkaroon tayo ng COVID. But despite the fact, naglalabas ng update yung company with their partner, which is the Makati government. Siguro mga 2 press releases ago, naglabas ang press release ng IRC that they are buying the land na and they are paying the landowners. That is important kasi kung wala silang land, they cannot build the subway. And kung hindi sila bibili, they cannot start building the subway as well. So good yung news na yon na they are paying the landowners, meaning to say the subway will proceed as planned. Siguro hintayin lang natin matapos itong COVID na to and then everything will go into proceed as planned pagdating dyan sa subway na Makati.
Okay po, sir. Thank you. So, parang ano pala, parang speculative pa rin pala ang dito tel.
No, hindi na speculative, no? You're basing your decisions na on the future of the company. Dahil future earnings na ang inahabol mo dyan. Tapos na yung speculation eh. Yung speculation sa third telco, nanalo na siya. Yung speculation resulted from 1 peso to 9 pesos. Hindi na mangyayari uli yun. It will trade based on what the company is doing right now.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you, sir.
Meron lang akong gusto sagutin. May nagtanong kanina yung sa Now. Can you check pangit na daw ba mag-invest sa Now because of dito? Parang ganun ba yung question? Actually, hindi rin. You will buy Now based on its own merit. So kung titingnan mo din yung earnings potential niya on its own, although hindi siya yung third telco, but nobody's preventing Now from doing what he can do sa telecoms industry. He can offer it to subscribers as long as maganda yung kanyang earnings. Why not? Pero pag walang earnings, puro lang press release, puro lang well, ultimately you will be the one to decide on whether to buy or not Now Corporation. My question kay Romeo, horizon, 5 to 7 years horizon. Ako, I wouldn't wait that long eh. Siguro in 2 years time, dapat mayroong development na dito. Dapat nakapag-establish na sila ng mga towers nila. So pag mayroong towers yan, ibig sabihin, they are proceeding as planned. So I will consider buying dito because of that scenario. But not wait 5 to 7 years. Habol daw, IP Converge. IP Converge is good. Earnings niya maganda, may mga subscriber na siya, may mga areas na siya na kino-cover. So, kung makakapag-IPO yan and makakapag-raise ng funds, baka humabol sa dito yan sa pagtayo ng mga towers. So, baka maging port telco sila without the fanfare of the speculation. Pero mas lamang siya sa mga ibang contemporaries niya. Lalong-lalo na pag nagka-IPO yung IP Converge. Ay nagtanong, may invest ako sa ANI. You wait for the September 6. Kasama yan doon sa mga sectors and stocks to watch. Okay? So thank you. Lampas na tayo ng 12. Kailangan na rin natin mag-lunch. And tomorrow morning, don't forget, technical analysis. And sana lahat kayong present ngayon, present ulit tomorrow.